What's going on, guys? Roadkill here, and today we got like a pretty cool video that I've been wanting to make for a while. And also, another pretty cool thing you guys can already see, we got a webcam. I'm super excited about that and to be making like videos with this from now on. But yeah, like with that out of the way, this video I wanted to talk about characters who kind of, as far as like the community goes, like have a bad rap. I'm gonna just use like Adam or yeah, I'll just use Adam for example. Someone like Adam gets kind of like a bad rap because, oh, he's not good into double support. You have to play, you have to play him in triple support. Actually, maybe not characters who get a bad rap, more characters who get misjudged by the community. So again, Adam, who a lot of people say he sucks into double support. Well, the thing is, you're just not supposed to play him in a double support. He's very clearly meant to be a DPS replacement. So he's supposed to be a third support that a DPS player plays Adam. So you sacrifice some of your damage for, very obviously, the utility that like someone like Adam brings, so on, stuff like that. He's not meant to be a DPS replacement, or he's not meant to be a second support. He's meant to be a DPS replacement. And like Ultron goes along with that type of example as well. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, Ultron sucks. He's not really good," because in double support you have to play. You have such a low amount of heals. But again, just another character who you were never meant to run him as like, I see the trailer for Ultron and I'm very clearly like, oh, okay, that character's meant for DPS players. And so, characters like that. But yeah, so I've got like a list of like all the characters I want to talk about today, like right here. So like there's I'm going to be talking about like even tanks. I'm going to try and make this like a relatively short video. And so tanks are a bit trickier as far as the context of this video goes, because what I'm essentially talking about is characters who work as like hybrid characters. So with someone like Mantis or Adam, and like those characters are meant to replace one of your DPS. Like they're not meant to like be your second support. You can make anything work in this game, but it's just like that's just not like, so like judging them within the context of them being your second support just doesn't make any sense to me. So again, tanks are a bit more tricky in this because you really can, I'll say it like this, you have a lot more flexibility when it comes to tanks. You can make single tank work, you can make obviously double tank work, and you can make triple tank work. I don't really get why the community is against triple tank so much. Anyway, so all that out of the way, I'm just gonna go down the list. This is gonna be slightly on the complicated, like as far as like support goes, it's super straightforward and simple. But as far as tank goes, you really can play, you can play single tank, double tank, or triple tank. Most of these guys work as in any of these, but I'm going to talk about these characters, which I think is like the best comp for them. So for these tanks that I'm going to be like mentioning, imagine them as like the third tank with like mainline tanks like Magneto and Emma as like the main two. Whereas just like Captain America, Thor, Angela, Tank Pool, Penny, Rogue, like those guys are going to be the tanks that I'm talking about. Actually, I do know how I'm going to talk about this. These characters can work into a lot of compositions, but you don't play these characters I'm going to talk about like traditional tanks, like protecting the front line and stuff like that. You're really not supposed to. So that's like a perfect way to frame this. Captain America is very clearly meant to not be on the front line protecting his team very much. There are some weird things you do, like with his shield, he could deflect some ults and stuff like that. But again, you're meant to play him in the same way you play DPS, flanking and all that stuff, getting picked on the back line, stalling cart. Well, that's actually something he has over DPS in the fact that he actually can stall cart. Like most DPS, like unless they're like in their ult, they really can't and they just die. But anyways, Captain America, I see him as more like a DPS. Like, so if we're running like two tanks, like I don't know, Emma and Magneto as your main two tanks, and you're running Captain America, I don't see him as like a third tank. I see him as like a beefier DPS who focus on flanking and stalling and stuff like that. Then you go to Thor, who I think everybody just knows at this point. It's just like, if you play DPS and you solo queue as like a DPS, you may as well just play Thor. Just because like at this point he is so ridiculous. Like, he has such ridiculous DPS abilities. Like, he wins like every 1v1 in the game. And so with Thor, like, if you're trying to play him as like a frontline protector, a main tank or whatever, I think you're honestly just making a mistake. I think if you play Thor similar to how you play something like Daredevil or Iron Fist, you get such a ridiculous amount of success, and a lot of the times even more success. Thor, if he's just like played in a DPS slot rather than like one of your tanks slots, like one of the two tanks, he just gets so much more freedom to do his thing. Same with Angela here. She's in the same boat as Cap, where she's like flanking backline and it's like stalling point and stuff like that. When I'm playing Angela, I get a lot of people like saying, oh, you know, why are you playing Angela? We don't need that. We need like a mainline tank. Well, it's like, I'm not here to tank for y'all. Like, I'm doing my job. As far as DPSing goes, I'm doing my job pushing people off the map, isolating 1v1s, like stuff like that. Sometimes I'll even block like Hella ult or whatever ult. And so like a lot of time I'm playing Angela, I really wish you'd like identify me as like a beefier DPS. And that's another thing I want to talk about. The term Vanguard, I think, is a lot more appropriate in this game than tank. I think we've all played a tank at one point or another, and you get like focused by like 2 to 3 people and you just blow up. You don't really feel too tanky at all. Well, that's because the vast majority of the Vanguards aren't actually tanks. I really think only Doctor Strange, Groot, Venom, and Magneto can really be classified as like actual tanks. Venom, through just his sheer health amount, so I think right now he has 100 or 825 health, plus he gets like an additional, like if you do his like his E perfectly, the thing that gives him overshield, he gets an additional 1,000 health, so 1,800, plus say he has his ultimate, that's additional, let's just say even 1,000, 2,860 health Venom has. So yeah, those are the only real mainline tanks I think are actually in this game. But whereas the rest of the tanks don't feel like tanks, they feel like beefier DPS. And I think Vanguard is an appropriate name for them. Like, I think of tank and I just think of this like I think of Malga from Overwatch or Reinhardt. But then Vanguard, you think of kind of just like a slightly beefier dude, like not really like too big. And that's just what most of the tanks in this game fit the description of. But yeah, so like anyways, back to the list. Angela, I like when I'm playing Angela, I prefer having one mainline tank or even better 2 other tanks and just consider me a DPS. And then Hulk was really difficult, and I don't really like know what to classify him as. He's definitely an off tank. He's not a Vanguard, he's not a main tank. He's definitely an off tank. He's this weird brawl dive hybrid thing going on, and I really don't know like where to classify him. I think maybe he'd find a lot more success in triple tank because there's less overall focus on just like, if even in double tank, there'd be a lot less focus on just him, just because of like just the 3 tanks, and so obviously the attention gets split up. So Hulk can definitely work into double tank. I think he might find a bit more success in triple tank. But I really don't like, Hulk is so weird. Let me get to the next spot. I think Penny gets like a really bad rap because a lot of people try to play her into, you know, double or even I've seen some single tank Penny attempts and it never ever goes well. It's because she's so squishy, you just shoot her and she falls over. However, I think Penny has this really untapped market of, I don't know why the community is so against triple tank, but we're okay with triple support, we're okay with triple DPS. Triple tank is just, I think as DPS player, it's like, oh, we need damage. You don't need really high damage numbers like at all. You need just enough to kill the enemy. And even if you like, you did need high damage numbers, most of the tanks do really high damage. Doctor Strange could one-shot. Venom has a one-shot combo. Thor is one of the best DPS in the game. Groot, he just does a ridiculous amount of damage. Magneto has like a one-shot combo. Like all these tanks, Penny has like her mines can one-shot people. I guess the point I'm getting at is that it's not like tanks do like such a ridiculously low amount of damage or whatever. But anyways, I digress. So back to Penny. Penny, I think, is a character that is like ever since her team up with Rocket got taken away, like with her team up with Rocket, she could be played into double tank, but now she's just this. A lot of people just think she's horrible, and I genuinely agree, because a lot of people try to play her into single tank or double tank. I really think as far as defense goes, triple tank is where Penny might, like, I think she's currently like C tier or D tier right now, but I think in triple tank she might be like B tier or even like A tier, because it's just the problem with Penny is that you could focus her mind so quickly and then you could just kill her so easily. But with just 3 different tanks to look at, Penny has a lot less focus fire on her, and then on top of that, she's like healing and speed boosting the tanks and just certain I think Penny, if you play in a triple tank or placing one of the DPS, I think you could spawn all just pretty much every map. I think Penny has got some real. I just think a lot of people are just playing the character wrong or into the wrong comp, because people are just so obsessed with playing DPS or support. Oh, and one thing I forgot. Not only like, so the reason I say this is that you could hold so well with triple tank Penny is because obviously like the minefield blows up anyone who just like rushes in, right? So then even though she herself is kind of squishy, the enemy team has to like slowly push in while they're like trying to like diffuse the minefield and all that stuff. Which kind of like, she's not like making space, she's like slowing down the pace. So she's kind of doing like the inverse of like making space. She's stopping people from making space, which is, if that's not tanking in my book, I don't really know what is. I think that's where she finds a lot of her tanking capabilities. Lastly, we got Rogue to talk about. Like this is just one of these characters. Like I think she works perfectly as like this is like, I keep saying that the whole tank situation is weird, because you could make double tank work just fine. Most of these tanks are I'm gonna be honest, most of them are overpowered at this point. So you can run, like you can run Thor, and you can run Cap, you can run Angela, you can run Rogue into double tank, but I just think a lot of these characters have a lot more of their shine within triple tank. That being said, we're on to Rogue now, and Rogue is, how do I say this? Rogue just feels like a character who's a DPS. She just has a higher health pool, and I guess that necessitates her being in the Vanguard category. But it's always weird seeing Rogue players trying. I mean, I guess they're being forced to frontline tank because number one, the tank epidemic. So Rogue, like, she isn't meant to be played as like a frontline at all. I don't really. Her kit, nothing about her kit says frontline tank or one of 2 tanks. I don't like see what people can't see that she's very clearly meant to be like a DPS in her play style. So when you see Rogue players, I don't know, trying to frontline, they're getting like messed up really bad. It's because they're playing the character completely wrong. Like she really is like, I think the community as a whole, if you're a DPS player, people would find more success instead of playing DPS. And I don't know, whatever melee DPS you play, like Iron Fist. I think you find it like a lot more success playing Rogue than you would someone, like Iron Fist or something like that. Yeah, that's all the tanks. The tanks are a lot weirder, and like because they can really fit into, like they're not in the same way that Adam, Mantis, and Loki are. But now we've gotten to the main point of this video, the supports. So let's talk about Rocket at first, because I am a Rocket main. He used to be a support DPS hybrid. He was probably like 60% DPS, 40% support, but they've changed him so much to the point where it may be like an even 50-50, and at this point it's probably like because he has no mobility, so like he's meant to be played in close range, but the only problem is his gun doesn't have like far, like it has really harsh fall off. So you're meant to play him in close range, but you're not always in close range. So then the solution is to just get in close range. That's where his boosts and his like mobility comes in. But then they just nerf his mobility into the ground, where it's too risky to like use it for the sake of aggressive plays. So often you're just saving it for in case you need to like keep yourself alive. So then his aggressive play style has essentially just been run into the ground. You really have to try to be aggressive as a Rocket. Anyways, that being said, Rocket used to be like this like heavy on the like the DPS side of of being a support, but now this is not the case anymore. I think even still though, Rocket works best into triple support with someone like Mantis and maybe like a an actual like heal bot, like Cloak and Dagger or something like that. That way it gives him plenty of time. Like his minigun is just the best, probably like the best tank shredding gun in this game. I don't think really anything comes close besides maybe Moon Knight or like Punisher's turret or his shotgun or even his AR. Like there are very few characters in the game who like shred tanks the way Rocket does. Anyways, that being said, I just think he works best into triple support, where it's just like there's a heal bot and then there's like an off support like Mantis. Now we get into the main guys. Everyone's pretty much figured this out by now. Mantis is not really, you can make her work to double support, but like you really have to try. Like the whole team has to like do their best to like not take damage essentially, which you're just not going to find that on ladder. Anyways, back to the main point. Mantis, like I think she's gotten her reputation at this point. Pretty much everyone knows you play her as a third support, and she doesn't do too much healing, but where she gets most of her utility is being just like this like damage boot. Like the most like famous utility of her is just boosting Widowmaker to the point where she can one shot, and so like that's like the difference she makes. Then you just like play her with someone like, I don't know, Punisher or Phoenix, and it's just like it's generally just like people can't live against that type of damage boost. And then on top of that, she does like low healing, but she does such high damage herself that you're not really missing a DPS when you play Mantis, like at all. So it's just like I think at this point like everyone knows Mantis. There's not really too much reason to talk about her. Adam still gets a lot of flack, and I don't think a lot of people really realize or have recognized Adam's utility into their support. So Mantis is very clearly just like a straight up DPS replacement doing lots of damage. So you play Mantis when you want triple support, but you don't want to miss out on the damage of a DPS. And that's what Mantis is for. Adam is very clearly, and I think he's always been very clearly, the third support for like when you're getting dove heavy. I don't think like literally anybody does it as well as him. He is the best defensive third support in the game, I think, bar none. On top of that, he's really good into poke and stuff like that, and his mobility, like I don't think he really has like a weakness for like the type of character he's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure he's like hit scan, poke, and then he can fly around, and he just disables dive. I don't really understand why people keep judging Adam as if he was ever meant to be played into like double support. Oh, you know, this flying buff for Adam's cool, but you know, he's not really meta. You have to play him into triple support. He's meant to be played in triple support. He's meant to replace a DPS, not one of your support slots. But yeah, I think his main and probably best utility just comes from, if he's in the game, dive just doesn't work. It just doesn't. It can't work. You can try it as much as you want, however many times you want. You're not gonna like dive into triple support Adam and get any kills. And that's where I think Adam's DPS replacement capabilities come from, and where he finds most of his value. Ultron, he is like a lot of people will say, oh, Ultron sucks, you know, why would you play him into triple support at all? And I just think the very obvious answer is you play him into triple support if you're running heavy dive. So if you're running, let's say, Angela, Captain America, Daredevil, so you're playing heavy dive, and Ultron just enables dive. So the speed boost, the damage boost, and the healing, obviously. Very clearly, Ultron's place is to be the third support who just makes dive characters unkillable. What's his name? Daredevil with Ultron's drones is unkillable. Captain America with Ultron's drones is ridiculously hard to kill. And you just place on it like magic, or that's Ultron's job. Like, he's not meant to be like the healer who like sustains like the entire team. Oh, his healing sucks. It was never meant to be that good anyways. I'll just say it like this. He's really just meant to be the third support who enables dive. So no, we'll go through it again. Mantis is the DPS who for damage boost, DPS support to damage boost other people. Adam is like the best anti-dive third support. Ultron enables dive. And so there's one more character in the support category, heal pool. I think people are people kind of like get it. But I'll just say it anyways, heal pool is not meant to be second support. It really is for just like the DPS player being forced on support, but so they're playing support but now really playing support. His ult sucks. Back when he first came out, people were like, oh, you have to ban heal pool, he's so broken, he's so good. I never understood. His ult sucks. Like do you, when something bad's going on, like I don't know, Punisher's ulting, nobody says, oh gosh, heal pool ult, save us. Everyone knows that thing's not saving me. It's like one of the worst support ults in the game. So I ragged on heal pool for a second there. Yeah, for me, like heal pool just comes off as like the character that, like, if you're a DPS player and you're being forced to go support, heal pool just seems like the character for you, where it's kind of like a seamless transition. Pretty much, you can still do your DPSing, and if you have the time for it, heal a teammate or two. That's where I think heal pool's purpose is. And Storm is a really weird example as well. There's only one DPS hybrid in this game, and it's Storm, who is a DPS with a support ability, whereas these other guys were like support who replace a DPS or with DPS abilities like Mantis or Rocket. Storm, obviously her damage boost and speed boost, that's a support ability if I've ever seen one, and that's pretty much it. Storm gets kind of like a really weird reputation as kind of being like a bad DPS or whatever. I don't entirely get it, because maybe I'm just have PTSD. There was like this guy on my team, and they were playing Phoenix and Storm, and the Phoenix, Storm, Mantis, Rocket, and I think it was Invis. The Storm and the Mantis were just damage boosting the Phoenix, and they couldn't walk out of spawn. Sorry, I'm losing my voice talking so long. They couldn't walk out of spawn. I think Storm might be like the best, like, I think she's like a sleeper pick for poke. Like if you're playing Hela or Punisher or Phoenix or any of these characters, I think Storm is a very underrated pick. Just because of her support abilities to like damage boost her teammates. On top of that, she has an okay ult and does okay damage herself. On top of that, Hela's been nerfed, and so she's like less of a threat to Storm. Anyways, yeah, that's about it for the video. I just wanted to kind of go into the characters who I think are, kind of meant to be played as not like a second slot in their own role, but a replacement for DPS. So let's go over it like one final time. Let's go over it. Captain America, I think, works best as DPS replacement. Same with Thor, same with Angela. I think Tank Pool works best as a DPS replacement. Then I think Penny would work best if you replace a DPS with Penny. I think she'd be like B tier to maybe even A tier if you do that. Rogue, DPS replacement. I don't really see any of these guys as like one of your two mainline tanks, or I don't think you're gonna get the best value out of using them as one of your two mainline tanks. And we go to support. Rocket, I think, works best in triple support, where he's allowed to do a bit more like tank shredding. Mantis is very clearly just like this kind of like, if you play like Hela or Bucky or something like that, you play Mantis and you're still doing the same amount of damage as you were before, and you're healing and you're damage boosting your allies. Then Adam is the DPS or the support for, if you play DPS but your backlines are getting dove super heavy, you can pretty much just stop them from dying, full stop on Adam. Ultron, DPS replacement, and he's just enabling dive like super heavy. Captain America, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Captain America, Daredevil, like any dive character you can think of, pretty much become unkillable in triple support Ultron. They pretty much literally can't die. Heal pool is, I think, just for DPS players being forced on support. Like, that's pretty much it. Storm is a DPS with support capabilities, where she's not really on the team for what she's offering herself as far as damage goes. Although she can do a fair amount, and her ult's okay. She's mainly there to just support everybody else. But that'll be the end of it for this video today. Hopefully, this video wasn't too long, because I have noticed that my videos are a bit on the longer side. So, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll try and cover it. I'm going to be making a new Rocket Raccoon tutorial because he's just changed so much since the last video I've made. But yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll try and get on that. And I'll see you guys next time.